What an intense week, to say the least. What's up, beautiful souls? I have a feeling I'm not the only one that has felt it, but there have been moments of extreme highs, extreme lows, moments of anger, bouts of guilt and shame, joy, bliss, and even like that nirvana. I have no shame in expressing my story. It solidifies that I'm human. I have had moments that I have felt very, very angry. Why do I feel angry? Well, as much as I love my spirit guides and I love my angelic team, they will never speak ill or talk bad about another human being or soul. But the truth of the matter is here on this 3D, there is contrast. There are people that do horrendous acts, terrible, terrible things to another human being. And it's made me angry. Now, if you know Crystal, I think there's always a symptom, so let's get to the core. So I stay with it, and the next thing I feel is bitterness. Why do I feel bitter? The truth of the matter is it feels almost that I am as if I'm filtering that contrast through my soul. And I don't want to feel. I don't want to be a bitter soul. I don't want to feel bitter. But I do. Followed by a bawling session where I am gushing my tears out. Oh, why am I crying? It's the compassion I feel. Because there are horrendous acts that take place, and the people that are the receptives that receive are on the receiving end go through mass destruction of such horrendous acts. And the build-up, the work to regain requires it's a tremendous amount of work. And I feel bad about that. Because the pain is real. That's what it is. The pain is very, very real. The work is very real. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. So I cry. And then I'm reminded that all plays a role. If we were to look at a magnetic pole, we cannot have a negative or a positive and have the pole. You have to have both to have the magnetic pole. My job is to hold the light, and that all of this plays a role. So with all of these energies and all the shitstorm that we've been through in the last 6 months and the next 6 months that's about to unravel, what does all of this formulate to? There is a huge calling of alignment. Now, whether you have worked with me individually or else you've watched my videos, these are some concepts that I work with because they are very, very helpful in our self-development. And everything begins with self. I'm going to go over these really fast because I think it's really important that we understand as we speak about energy, we use words to annotate, yet we misconstrue the definition of a word and everything can be thrown out of alignment, if you will. So when I say alignment, and I wrote these down to be sure, is a time to become self-involved, not to be misconstrued with being selfish. It's a time for self-love, not self-loathing. It is a time to know boundaries and not to be a doormat. It's a time to know assertiveness, but not aggression. It is a time to know your intuitive knowing and to be led by that and not your insecurities. It's a time to know your discernment, not to judge. And in formulating this video, I have stayed with it because my guides have been very quiet. And at the very end, they reminded me, the whole point of me waiting is to ensure that I am responding to these energies and not reacting. It was beautiful. What do I mean by all of these things? And these are the key things that we need to be able to come into alignment, because everything that happens on a personal level, guys, I assure you, happens outside on a very, very much larger frequency scale. Everything is energy, all personalized, but can be universal. So if you understand thyself and understand these concepts, it will help you in going out into the world in the way the next 6 months will unfold and so forth. Self-involvement, that is what I mean. Come into alignment. You cannot pour from an empty cup to give to others. It is best to be filled with your self-love. Know your boundaries, and that know is a full word. To know your boundaries is to say you have a voice, and this is what you stand for or you don't. It's to draw a line of what is too intimate or too intrusive. To be assertive is to stand that ground. In intuitive knowing, even my angels, while they will never come down and speak ill about another soul or human being, they are not naive. It's why we have these gut-wrenching intuitive pulls. Things that say something is wrong. That is higher self, that is spirit guides directing you, giving you red flags. Be aware. This is not the energy field or frequency you need to be involved with or around. Discernment falls in line to the intuitive knowing. It is a moment of observation, to be in alignment, to know. We can easily fall into judgment, but it's a matter of just observing and becoming unattached to any circumstance, situation, or person. Allocates us the room to align, to think objectively, to acknowledge what is without putting a title on it. And above all else, responding. To be able to implement all those things above, to come into that alignment, to see beyond what is on the surface. Because there are so many things, so many sides of a truth, so many sides of a story, so many layers to an equation. To both yourself and things that happen outside. It's a great time right now, if you have not mastered these tools, to do so. That is what I've been feeling, a huge wave with all of these energies, and doing my own observation and my own objectivity and staying with it all. And I cannot help but feel, well, my guides are kind of quiet right now, which is enlightening to me how much I rely on them, because I try to come forward with these videos to be as unbiased as possible. It is a matter of relying on my soul to tell me this is my truth, and I don't need even my angelic team to assure me that it's okay. It'll be 2020 has been very eye-opening. And we're only halfway through. I hope some of those key terms will help you as you do the internal work first. That's the big I'm advocating more than ever right now. Do the internal work so that you can implement that on every other level outside of you. I have so much love for you guys. Namaste.